Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
Hi, I'm Rena.
And this is what we backed in March this time. That's not true. In February this time. It's March
right
now. It's March now. Yeah, that's the thing. So we just did recently one of these because we did our January one particularly late.
We were very busy in January.
We were very busy in January. Yeah, we're not busy in February at all. No, nothing at all. In any case.
We're also very busy in February.
Oh, yeah. Taxes. Gotta file taxes.
You can file taxes?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because I haven't until April 15th. Why would I do it a day before April 14th? Anyways, this is what we backed in February. We're going to go through all the games. There's a lot more than we had last month. Last month we had, like, I don't know, 11 or something like that. This time we have 21 games. 21. And I'll give you a very helpful clue as far as how many I backed. 7.
That's it?
7. Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Now, as usual, just for context, these are the games that I backed, but more specifically, these are the games I was interested in backing. These are not all the Kickstarters and game founds from February. These are the ones that I was considering looking into, debating, and doing all of that stuff. And then from that, I managed to have a decent amount of self-control this time and backed only 7. Well, at least in terms of the number of games I backed, not necessarily in terms of the price of the games I backed.
That's a different story.
And then these are all games that ended in February, meaning it's specifically, whenever I do these videos, I do them based on when the campaign ended. So if something ended March 1st and you know I loved it and you're like, well, Alex, you didn't even talk about that, it's because it ended March 1st, so we'll talk about it next month. And with that, let's go ahead and start this off, because it's late, she's tired, and let's go ahead and start this. Starting off the bat with the first one, which is going to be Astro Knights. Astro Knights from, I guess, Indie Boards and Cards, technically. Although it's still under Travis's account. He's like the owner, or the original owner of Indie Boards and Cards.
Can you read that?
Can I read the word Travis?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I can read the word Travis. Although my screen's being very slow right now. My screen's all being all laggy. I don't know what's happening here. Either way, we'll figure it all out.
Maybe the rat ate through a cord.
Let's not talk with rats, but let's not talk with rat. Astro Knights is a game that you've actually played this one. You played this one.
I was going to say, it looks a little familiar.
Yes, it does look familiar. Why is my screen so weirdly laggy? I don't know what's going on. But either way, Astro Knights is a game of cooperative experience in which case you can play it solo, you can play it multiplayer, but it's a co-op game in which it's a takeoff from the original Aeon's End, in case you played that. And it's a game which you're not...
You did back it.
I did back it.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, you didn't like it. I did like it.
Oh, that's right.
We had this conversation.
We did have this conversation. I forgot about that.
Both of us were okay with Aeon's End. Neither one of us loved Aeon's End.
I preferred Aeon's End to this one.
Really? I'm so surprised at that. Why?
It's prettier.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if I have a preference in terms of the look of them, but I know that we both were okay with Aeon's End, and then I played Astro Knights and greatly preferred it to Aeon's End. Apparently, you prefer Aeon's End. Did not realize that. Yeah, I'll be playing this solo.
You and I for sure had this conversation and I completely forgot about it.
No, I remember you were not impressed by Astro Knights, meaning you were like equally as impressed with Aeon's End, but I didn't realize you liked Aeon's End more. That's the part that's surprising to me. Anyways, nothing against Aeon's End. Aeon's End is a fantastic game.
It's a great game.
But fantastic game meaning a lot of people love it, and I'm okay with it. But I don't have anything against it. It's just, it was a good game. Not a great game to me. And Astro Knights was I still had complaints. I didn't like the fact that the decks were random as opposed to fixed market decks. That's my biggest complaint and the big reason I would prefer Aeon's End. But the rest of it I did prefer to Astro Knights to Aeon's End. And I want to dive into it, pick it up, dive into the various, bosses or world-ending threats you have. And then I am curious what other expansion content will come down the road. And I'm curious how they're going to expand it, because you can't have the same system as Aeon's End because of the fact you don't have fixed decks. But either way, that is Astro Knights, our number 1. Number 2 is Chang'Un. Chang'Un is a game. Let's go through it. So this is a game. Really? It's a game. It's a game. It's a game.
So shocking.
This is a game where you're going to be taking actions to gather these cards that are going to add to your tableau as you go through them. You're going to be trying to gather these cards that all have abilities on them. I'm trying to see if I can show you a closer up picture of them. But they're all going to have different abilities. You're going to be combining decks in different ways as you try to gather resources and build out a system of cards, a system of combinations.
Oh.
What?
It's like Hadara.
I mean, it has 5 colors and stuff that you do to gain resources. So in that sense, it's like Hadara. But honestly, I did get a Hadara style vibe in terms of the game weight, in terms of the accessibility. Yeah, those basic styles. Although again, different game to be sure, but in that weight class as far as cards, card combos, gathering cards, trying to build out the systems that work for you, and you can whatever score as many points as possible.
So many, I don't know.
There are so many you don't know.
Exactly like Seven Wonders.
Okay, well, what?
Except that's T.
Except that's T. It has T. And therefore?
You just didn't back it?
I did not back it.
Okay.
I was really interested in Chang'Un.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah, I was. I mean,
it has T.
It has T. It looks pretty. Their last game seems to have done decently. I wasn't confident that this was... like, I wasn't confident it was for me. I was intrigued by it, I was pulled in by it, but I wasn't sure if it'd be potentially too light or not. Like, I just wasn't sure. That's what it came down to. And price point wise, it was fine. It wasn't that expensive, but I'm trying to have shelf control, and while I was tempted, I wasn't tempted enough, and so I passed on this one. Moving on to Evolution New World. Evolution New World, a game that is about basically building out the various species you have and the traits you have for each species. Basically, you're going to have...
Play something like this recently? Or something of it, not necessarily recently?
I don't know. Did you ever play Evolution? I don't think you did. See, this is Evolution New World. Evolution is a game system that's had a whole bunch of games around it. It has Oceans as well, which is another game in the series I need to play.
Is it Gods of Dinosaurs? Something?
The Gods of Dinosaurs might be...
Is that the animal one where I go pop, 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 like that?
This one is not that at all. This one is... Let me see if I can scroll. My computer is being so slow right now.
No, this is working for me. I don't get sick this way.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Basically, you have all these trait cards you're playing. And so every time you play a trait card, you're playing a trait that does something. You can get food more faster. You turn into a carnivore. You can hide from carnivores. You can go to trees. You can fly. There's all these different traits you're playing on your species.
I have to give it to you. You actually know something about this game, so...
Yeah, I thought you'd call me out on Chang'Un in a second. I sounded so like I had no clue what was going on. Anyways, this one, but going back to this one you have all these traits over here, and these traits are going to augment your species, and they're going to give you different capacity to either get more food if you're a herbivore, or eat more food if you're a carnivore, or hide from carnivores if you're not. If you're a herbivore, all these different things designed to make you survive across the course of play. So every round is all about just playing these cards and trying to out-evolve these other species. There are a bunch of games in the system. I've had Evolution. I've played Evolution Climate. This is the newest version. This is the newest game in the system called Evolution New World.
4-player?
I think there's a solo mode, but it's multiplayer. I mean, I've only played the original Evolution multiplayer. This is just the newest one in the line. That's all.
Do you own the other one?
I do. So that's a trick question. It's an interesting one. I owned the original Evolution. Mm-hmm. I got rid of the original Evolution. Mm-hmm. Then I played Evolution Climate on my app, and I ended up backing Evolution Climate as part of the late pledge of Paint the Roses. So I have it coming. I used to own it. Have it coming is the answer. This is not the same game. It's the same system-ish. Think of it as like two different Ticket to Ride systems. It's not like they're cross-compatible expansions. There's overlaps. Different publishers even. Yeah. It's hard, I know.
I think you backed it.
I did not back it.
You're not? Well, you sounded so knowledgeable on it, though.
Well, because I mean... It's
you have to now.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I actually know about the games I want to back, sometimes I don't.
Fair.
But I wanted to back it. I was very tempted by it, but specifically because I have Evolution Climate coming already, I was like, there's only so many games...
another year.
So will this.
So?
So will this be another year. It's not going to come faster. It's just that the art here looked absolutely gorgeous. That's the one thing I was very intrigued by. The art looked better than the art in Evolution Climate, but I had already played Evolution Climate, and so I went with the game that I had played over the game that looks pretty, looked shiny and pretty and things. From there we go to the Final Girl Series 2.
Oh, I have no idea. You like this thing.
Did I? Did I? Final Girl Series 2, a solo game. This is a solo game. This is a solo horror game, which you basically pick different packs. You have this location you're going to be fighting in. You have the boss you're going to be fighting in. You have the actual final girl you're fighting as, and it's all a survival horror genre. You're basically trying to survive against the horror movie. That's what it is. It's all
I feel
these.
like you definitely back. This is all the things you like. A solo game, it's horror.
Exactly.
I think you.
100%. Did I back it?
I don't know.
Well, you got one right so far. 1 out of 3. How are we doing so far? We're not doing well.
You're not doing very well.
No, and I only backed 7 total, of which we already found 1. So there's down to 6 left.
Yeah, but just because you put it in alphabetical order doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. Who knows? I probably backed it.
We're not helping.
I know.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, but basically it's a solo survival game. Solo survival game, which you're going to be rolling dice. You're going to be trying to...
How much is it?
How much is it? Oh, that's a great question. How much is it? Well, if you want the all-in, and for context, I have Season 1. Okay, I still have Season 1. Let's see where we are over here. We have $329 for the all-in, but I have half of that already.
Oh, so you backed something less.
If I backed it. If I backed it, I probably backed at the, where are we? The 165, the Season Series 2 Collection Booster. Dun 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 dun. What's the right tune?
Jeopardy.
I don't even know the Jeopardy tune. I didn't grow up with TV. I was very deprived. Anyways.
You backed it.
I did not back it. Final Girl Series 2.
Here. We press pause. I'll go take a nap.
It seems like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I like Final Girl. I do like it. I have the original Final Girl. The problem is I didn't love Final Girl. And I had a hard time justifying spending $165 for more content of a game that I already haven't finished the content I do have, and I have plenty of content as it is. I like Final Girl enough for it to still be in my collection, but I don't like Final Girl enough to back a full new set of more content for a game. Listen, I allow myself to be rational. I don't often let myself be rational when I love a game, but I didn't love Final Girl. I liked it. It was a game that I loved the story, but I found it to be a little luck heavy compared to what I wanted, and so I dive into it because I like the story and I like the experience, but I don't dive into it a lot because it's luck heavy. So I had self-control.
You do you?
Yes, you do you. Yes. Well, I don't know what you do has to do with anything, but moving on. Moving on to La Granja Master Set. La Granja Deluxe Master Set from Board and Dice. This is, well, it's a stretched picture. Why is it stretched?
No.
I don't know. That's fair. But La Granja Master Set is is it even worker placement? It's not really worker placement. It's dice placement. It's dice placement. You
had it here for a while.
I did have it here for a while.
It was here.
I played this with Jesse, with Shira, with my game group. Did not play with you.
Yes.
This is a dice placement game. That's not true. That's not true. It's not dice placement. I don't know why I'm saying that. You're going to be taking actions every single round from cards in your hand. It's all with the cards you have in your hand. You can be playing these cards that have dual use or multi-use cards because you can use them for like 14 different things. The cards can slide into your board here as helpers. They can go to the top as various orders you're filling, or they can go to the left or the right of your farm to upgrade and augment your farm. Along the course of the game, you're going to be grabbing dice from the central board.
Do you have to feed people?
No. I don't think you have to feed people.
Nice.
You don't have to feed people. Maybe? I don't think so. You make deliveries every round. You're making deliveries not to feed people. You're making deliveries for points. You're feeding the village, but that's you getting points. It's not like you feeding your people. Yeah, but you're basically going to be grabbing dice every round. You're going to be rolling dice and assigning these spots. Every round you're going to take 2 dice. That's going to give you more dice, more actions. You're trying to build markets in the center here. You're trying to fulfill orders to all these different spots around town.
The problem is I think you have backed everything so far except for like one game.
I've only backed one game. You've been wrong about everything so far except for one game. I've only backed one game. Astro Knights.
I know, but I think that you've backed everything.
Oh, that's true. You do think I've backed everything.
Yeah, I think you have very poor shelf control.
So I definitely didn't back this one.
That doesn't mean anything.
I know.
I have a 50-50 chance each time I say something.
You have a 33% chance. 7 out of 21. Yep. Did I back this one?
I don't know.
You have to guess.
I am aware.
Yes.
Thank you.
It has roofs. It has donkeys. Let me see if I can find it.
It does not come with a rat.
It does not come with a rat. It comes with these little gorgeous little buildings over here.
You backed it.
I did back it?
Yes.
I did back it.
I finally got it.
I thought you'd finally cave and go with no. I backed this one over here. There's a lot here I liked. It's one that I'm not 100% sold on yet. I really enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but it falls in the category of a heavy Euro, and heavy Euro games are always competing with my other heavy Euros that I love. And La Granja, I love certain heavy Euro games, but it's hard for them to table because I don't get heavy Euros tabled as much as I'd like, and so I find that I have a much higher threshold for how good you have to be because I don't play them as often.
Do you need more tables?
I need more space. More time. I need more time. That's what I need. But I like La Granja Master Set. I like the original La Granja. I like the original La Granja, but I got rid of it. I like the Granja Master Set more, especially once I had modules. And there's like 15 different modules, and I think I'm going to continuously dive into them because of that. It's one that it's currently a 4 to 5 for me, trending towards a 4.5 depending on how the modules go. And it basically needs to hit a 4.5 for this semi collection based on the gameplay it would get. But I think it will potentially, maybe with the modules. So it definitely was a back, but a cautious back. If I was being super self-control, I probably shouldn't have backed it, but some things get through. But that's the La Granja Master Set, which brings us to the next game, which is Marvel Zombies.
Oh.
Should we just move to the next one?
You can just move to the next one.
Okay, cool. Did I back it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I backed Marvel Zombies. Moving to the next one.
This one I actually knew.
Well, of course you knew. This was the only gimme. This is the only gimme. Marvel Zombies. I backed this one. I said so last month, but I didn't need to. This is Zombicide, and it's Marvel. It was not really a hard, complicated conversation.
This was the $600 game, right?
This what?
This was the $600
game.
I knew it was somewhere in this line.
It was somewhere in this line. Look at this big little guy here. Look at
I'm
Giant
very
Man.
curious because you always put these games in alphabetical order, and we're only at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're already up to the letter M.
I noticed that. I noticed that as well when I was going through this. That it was very, very second half of the alphabet heavy.
Yeah,
I did notice that. Yes, anyways, moving on to the next one, which is Mind MGMT Secret Missions.
You definitely backed this one.
You locking your guess already?
Yes. You love this game.
I do love this game.
You love this game so much.
I do love this game
so much.
You
love
much.
this game so much. You have played it with everybody I know.
I do love this game so much. I played it with everyone she knows.
You want to keep up. Oh, you have played it for many hours.
Yes. I mean, listen, it's true. My MGMT Secret Missions, I did back this one, although technically, there's no technically, I backed this one. This is basically a bunch of new cards. It was not really it wasn't even a full expansion. It was a bunch of new cards that they're printing out these cards. What?
More cards?
There's some more cards for the game. I honestly, as much as I do love this game, I could have passed in this and I would have been fine. I haven't gone through all the shift packages in the game as it is. I don't know if I'll ever get to these cards. As much as I've played the game a lot, and I've still only gone through the first 2 shift packages in the game. The shift packages are these little unlocks you get as you play through the game. I haven't felt the need to continuously pull things out, so I'll probably never get to those cards, or not for a long time. So I certainly didn't need to back it, but it's $9 for more content for a game I love. So I let myself be irrational because, like she said, I've played this with everyone she knows.
It's like 2 coffees.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy $5 coffees generally, but yeah. Anyways, that's my MGMT, which brings us to Old London Bridge. Old London Bridge from Queen Games, designed by Leo Calvini, and his name I can't remember or see from this far away. But I must remember Leo Calvini. What?
You can't see something. I feel so proud.
What can you see? Oh, okay. It doesn't make your blindness better just because I can't see something. But, introduction. A great fire has destroyed. Can you finish reading?
The large wooden bridge across the river Thames.
Good job. You could read. Okay, cool.
I can read
for context,
it.
I make fun of the fact her prescription needs to be updated.
It doesn't need to be updated. I have done.
Yeah, this is a game of you rebuilding Old London Bridge. You're going to be trying to gather these tiles over here, and you have the whole part of the challenge is you're trying to gather these tiles in a certain order. You're trying to slot them in because if you start getting them out of order, you're going to have to keep replacing them. So you're trying to take these tiles to gather the bonuses, but you have to be mindful of the order that you take the tiles in as you work together to complete Old London Bridge. Cocopelli. It's in the same. It's not from the same designer, same company. Stefan Feld is Cocopelli, Leo Calvini is Old London Bridge. Both of them are from Queen Games. But yeah, you're independently working to build your London Bridge, so you're kind of working together, but that's the more thematically, practically speaking, the person who does it the best wins the game.
I don't think you backed it.
I did not back it. I wanted to back Old London Bridge inherently, otherwise it wouldn't be here.
Clearly.
But Queen Games games in general, I think I actually have them. I think we were in last month as well. Maybe not. I don't remember. But Queen Games in general, I find to be their Kickstarters. I don't find them to be the best price. I like their games. I like their games a lot, or a lot of their games. But I do not find their pricing on Kickstarter to be very friendly, and so I typically don't back them on Kickstarter, even when I'm interested in the game itself. There might be exceptions. I'd have to take a look. I don't know if I've ever backed a Queen Games game on Kickstarter, but yeah. Although I like a lot of their games. But anyways, that is Old London Bridge. Moving on to Ostia, Develop the Harbor of Ancient Rome. This is a game that's actually based on, speaking of Stefan Feld, it's kind of based on Stefan Feld's Trajan. They don't try to hide it. They basically say inspired by Trajan. It's going to be a Mancala element to the game as you're trying to go in a circle gathering these things to take increasingly stronger actions. You can see a little harbor here. You have these ships and you're sliding them around in a Mancala action to slowly but surely build out the harbor, do a bunch of things, score a bunch of points in Ostia. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I felt I lost it when I said do a bunch of things, get a bunch of points. I felt like the level of knowledge I displayed about the game was not where it needed to be.
Oh, that wasn't why I said no.
Why did you say no?
You have so many games like this.
So I honestly, okay. I was intrigued by Ostia because, first of all, it's based on Trajan, which I like, and second of all, is it looks pretty, and third of all, is their last game was fairly well received, and so I was intrigued by Ostia, and I was like, I should probably get it. It looks pretty. It looks nice. Ultimately, the main catch is the do a bunch of things, get a bunch of points. I never looked into this heavily enough to be convinced that it was worth spending like the $70 to get it or $80 to get it. It's not cheap, and I from this high level overview, I knew what was going on, but I never took the time to fully dive into it. So while I was always intrigued, it didn't cross into I can justify backing it, and so since I couldn't, I didn't, and that's Ostia. Moving on to Puzzle Strike. Puzzle Strike 2nd edition. I think it's 2nd edition. Puzzle Strike 2, not 2nd edition. Because Puzzle Strike had Puzzle Strike 1, they had 2nd edition, they had Puzzle Strike 3rd edition. This is Puzzle Strike 2. It's not an edition, it's a full new version of the game. Puzzle Strike is a game, it's a deck building game, which you're going to be building out your hand of cards as you try to crash gems into one another, as you try to fill up your power meter and get progressive powers as you unlock them and do different cool abilities, eventually getting to a tipping point as you eventually manage to overpower and push your person. The whole game is about, like, kind of pushing yourself to the next level level, being able to just like survive one round, constantly having players just eke out a survival, and then eventually having someone just push you over the edge and they win and you don't. They have this whole concept of the power scepter, this idea that whoever has the power scepter is the person who's going to be more of a target and have more power but less abilities to actually stop the crash gems to you. So a little bit of a King of Tokyo vibe mixed into otherwise a deck building experience. You have your unique characters you'll start the game with, and then from there you shuffle in your cards and build out your deck and keep playing until someone dies or not.
I like the wand.
You played this game.
I know I
okay,
played
fine.
this game.
Okay.
You didn't back it.
I did not back this one. I loved the original Puzzle Strike 3rd Edition. I thought it was a great game, and I dove into Puzzle Strike 2 hoping I had a prototype copy, and I dove into it hoping it would be Puzzle Strike 3rd Edition, but better. For me, I couldn't get behind the art, first of all. The art style, it felt a little too... I don't have a good word for it. Candy Crush-ish, I don't have a great word, but it didn't work for me as much. And then the gameplay, to me, I preferred the gameplay of Puzzle Strike 3rd Edition. And so for me, it ended up being a step back. I think it's a fun game, I think it's a solid game, but I walked into it thinking, ooh, Puzzle Strike 3rd Edition, but better. And it was Puzzle Strike 3rd Edition, but not as much fun, and so did not back this one. It does come with the scepter, yes.
That lights up.
That was very controversial. There were people who loved it, and there were people like, why am I spending, like, how much of my $70 is going towards paying for this kid's toy that I could just buy on Amazon and it'll look nicer? It was very controversial. Again, some people liked it, some people didn't. Either way, immaterial to myself. Moving on to Rolling Heights.
Yes.
Yes, I backed it?
Yes, you did.
I did back it.
And if you didn't back it, you would be backing it now.
I backed it, yeah.
I love this game.
I know you love this
so
game.
much.
Yes.
It's backed.
Yes.
I'm just confirming.
Yeah, just confirmed.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can move on now.
Rolling Heights. This is from AEG. I backed this one, like she said. We played this one. We really enjoyed this one. It combined the best parts of Quacks from Quedlinburg and Kapitos, one of her favorite games and one of my favorite games, and, well, not favorite. It was my top 100, but barely. But Quacks, I guess that is one of my favorite games. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games.
One of my favorite games.
Yes, but Quacks is not my top 100. Quacks is outside my top 100. Close. I prefer Kapitos. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
I do. You can't make me not prefer... Fine, I prefer Quacks. There you go. You happy now?
No, because it's an opinion.
Oh, exactly. That's my point. You can't say no to my opinion.
I didn't. I'm teaching opinion writing right now.
Anyways, we both loved Rolling Heights. It's actually funny.
What?
When they asked for a testimonial, when AEG asked for a testimonial, I said, here's a testimonial. I said, you don't have to use it. Here's my testimonial, though. I said, my wife prefers Quacks of Quedlinburg. I prefer Kapitos. Rolling Heights saved our marriage. Yeah, I did that. But he didn't put it on the page, because our
marriage is fine.
Yeah. he's like, we'd rather not, like, put down other games or reference other games in the testimonial. I was like, that's fair. Here's a backup testimonial. So I gave him a totally different one, but I prefer the first testimonial. I think it's funny. But anyways, yeah, we like this one. Is my testimonial even here? Is it even here, or did he just, like, say, forget it, we're not going to go with Board Game Co. That Board Game Co. guy can't. Here we go. Here we go. There's something addicting about this game, rolling your meeples and watching the city grow.
It's true.
It's so lame. And they left an E off the back of my name. At least get my name right, AEG. Nothing personal. It's all good. I love you guys.
Everyone leaves an E off already.
I know. But they rejected my first quote, so it's harder.
Okay, our child's teacher left it off of his diploma from kindergarten.
They should not do that. She's getting her diploma redacted. Anyways, Rolling Heights. We really like this. It's push your luck. It's watching your city grow. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's just very, very fun. It's one of those games that is very upset at me when I had to send it on. So maybe this game didn't save our marriage. Maybe it caused problems.
No, I really like this game.
Anyways, moving on to
how many have we said yes to?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track. Maybe 3, 4. I backed Marvel Zombies. I backed La Granja Master Set. I backed Astro Knights, Mind MGMT, and Rolling Heights. I think I backed 5 so far. 5. There's only 2 left. 2 left. Let me see those.
Out of all those?
Out of all those, there's 2 left. I know it's 2 are left. Anyways.
I'm happy that you know which 2 games you continue.
Well, I'm looking at the tabs on top. Okay. Seas of Havoc. Seas of Havoc by Rock Manor Games. This is a deck-building, pirate, worker placement game. Okay? Whole lot of words together.
Say that one more time.
Deck-building, worker placement, pirate, 7 Seas journeys. Yeah, that. What's basically going on is you have this central board over here, in which you're going to be... There's 2 aspects of the board. There's the side islands, which is the worker placement aspect. Since every single round, you're going to send your skiffs, your little ships off, to these various islands to gather supplies, to gather cannonballs, to gather whatever you need, money, whatever it is, all the stuff you need. Then from there, you're going to go to the deck building aspect, where you're building out a deck, and the deck is going to control the way your ship moves. So you play a card that says, oh, your ship moves forward 2, and then shoots. And you're doing all these actions in this central part of the journey over here, as you try to basically ram into other ships, blow up other ships, shoot other ships, all which will slowly clog their deck, but there's a degree of deck building, of trashing cards, of weeding your deck while building your deck as you go through the worker placement rounds, as you pick up treasure, as you wander into Royal Pearls, as you do different things, wander into gusts of wind, trying to manipulate the map and your cards and all the stuff to basically shoot pirates more than they shoot you and better than they shoot you.
That was a very long sentence.
Yes.
You didn't back it.
No. Well, that was... How did you know?
You did back it?
No, I didn't. How'd you know?
Because that was a very long sentence.
I knew so much about the game.
It was a very long sentence.
I knew so much about the game.
You literally didn't stop to breathe.
That's standard. Anyways.
Too much knowledge.
Anyways, Seas of Havoc. The reason I know so much of the game is because I had a chance to play this one. Jesse Quacklip had a prototype, and I played a game with him. I thought it was fine. I didn't love it enough to continue to dive into it and cover myself. The aspects I liked were the general concept of worker building, the worker placement, the deck building, all that. For me, the part that I wasn't as sold on, at least based on the one play I had, was just based on the ship movement. Felt a little bit back and forth. Felt like I move, I shoot, you move, you shoot. Felt a little bit back and forth, and didn't have the cool moves that I thought it would. As a concept, I loved the idea of it. It just didn't completely deliver for me, again, based on a single play, and so I didn't end up playing it more or covering it. But looks intriguing. I like Rockman games, but was not convinced of Seas of Havoc. Moving on, we have Skate Summer from Pandasaurus Games. Skate Summer, a push your luck game about... I'm not sure what the game is anymore. Do I specifically sound like I know the game, or do I try to sound like I don't know what's going on at all? Because I was very, very knowledgeable, and you, wrote it off in a second. Skate Summer, a game about skateboards and points and things. How about that? Did I back it?
I don't know.
Now I can sound ignorant and not know what's going on. Skate Summer. It's a push-your-luck game as you try to wander around the city. You're trying to pull off combos on your skateboard, trying to collect various letters, slowly power up. You have different skateboards, different skaters. It's push-your-luck. You're trying to go as far as you can, and each time you're going to be rolling more dice, and the problem is the more dice you roll, the more you can bust effectively. So you keep taking these actions, but each time you take more actions, your chances of failure are higher. So it's a combination of push-your-luck, combination of set your collection, a little bit of tableau building. No, I didn't back it? Why not?
I don't know. You just didn't.
I didn't back it.
Okay.
Price point.
I literally don't have a reason about why not. You just didn't.
Well, to begin with, the art itself didn't pull me in. It has something whimsical about it, but I wasn't as pulled in by the general art, or maybe it's more the theme. Honestly, I don't really know. I really like the idea of the skateboard being your personal player board. That part I thought was very neat. But past that, maybe it's just I don't care about skate parks at all. I have no affinity whatsoever to the concept of a skate park. But then combined with the lack of interest in the theme, the gameplay does intrigue me because I like push your luck games in general. But then the price point on it as well. I didn't care enough about the exclusives or the extras to dive into it. This is Pandasaurus Games. I'll have a retail version. I'll be able to get it cheaper down the road. I'm not in a rush for it, and I wasn't pulled in enough to violate my self-control for the month. Moving on to Sink or Swim by Bezier Games. Sink or Swim is a game about working together to basically perform swimming team synchronization. That's just
synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming. To perform synchronized swimming, which she said. That's the theme.
See, there's even pictures of people doing synchronized swimming. Can you see that?
Exactly.
Right there.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's just a theme, but the theme is not that big a deal. It has an app and that's going to be giving you challenges though as you go through it. So
you have to play it with an app.
You do have to play with an app. Yes. You're working together to try to complete progressively more and more difficult challenges as each person tries to match up their cards to fit whatever needs to be done. So you're kind of trying to talk to each other to communicate, oh, I have threes, I have twos, where do we need to play these, what do we need to do? It's a degree of real time, a degree of trying to work together and solve things, a degree of exchanging cards, playing them to accomplish your synchronized swimming patterns in 15-second rounds. I don't know the full player count, that 2 to 6, something like that, I don't know exactly, maybe 3 to 6? Dun 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 dun. What?
How many are left?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 after this.
I don't think you did.
I did not back this. Sink or Swim.
An app.
It has an app, which is a flag. It's not that I'm willing to play games with apps, but it's certainly another barrier to entry. I just don't love app games. But secondly, it's honestly just the price point. This is a game I can pick up down the road for significantly cheaper. I didn't care about the extra cards. It looks cute, and I like the style of game. This is similar to games like The Mind or something like that. It has a degree of a little bit of a fun experience, almost more than a game. I like the genre. I don't love the app aspect, and it's just price point wise, I'll get it down the road as opposed to trying here.
I just know you have other games that you can play that do not have the app.
Exactly. And then from there, we move to the Tabletop FindIt book. Not really a game.
You did not back this. For me, I will make you back it now.
Do you even know what this is?
It's I Spy, and I want it.
It's I Spy for board gamers.
I want it.
Yeah.
Tell me you backed it.
It's I Spy.
Did you back
it? Are you asking me to back it, or are you telling me to back it?
You backed it.
Which one is it?
You did back it.
I did not back it.
You are backing it right
I didn't
now.
know you'd want this.
It's I Spy!
Look at this page. It's all dice stone. Look at this page.
Why on earth didn't didn't you back this?
Are we gonna sit down and like look through the book and find things?
I do. I love I Spy games.
Okay, I'm backing it.
Right
Fine.
now.
Well, not this second.
Yes.
Then they'll see my credit card number, sweetie.
Fine.
Okay, I'm gonna just drag it to the end so I can nicely remember.
I cannot believe you didn't back this.
I didn't realize you'd want to play it.
I love I Spy games.
Okay, fine.
I made an I Spy bulletin board for my classroom.
Okay, I'm backing it.
That they have to find different things every week.
Okay, I'll back it. I liked it, by the way. The concept I thought was great. I was just like, I'm not gonna sit down and.
When did you have it?
I didn't have it. I just saw it. You can look at a picture and see it. The concept's right there. It's not like a game with rules. It's right there.
I'm
look for things.
so sad you didn't back this game.
I thought the pictures were beautiful. I thought the art was beautiful. I just didn't think that we'd actually dive into it. Apparently, we're gonna get this game. Okay, then cool. We're gonna late back this. Yay!
Self-control out the window.
Moving on to ThunderRoad Vendetta from
That's
Restoration
fun.
Games. ThunderRoad Vendetta, 7,608 backers, $761,000. ThunderRoad Vendetta is a racing game of blowing things up. That's basically what's going on here. You're blowing things up, you're racing around on the board, you're trying to outmaneuver other players, you're trying to call in helicopters, you're trying to ride along on motorcycles or convoys or trucks, all with different strengths and weaknesses to the individual vehicles. These images aren't properly loading. They're supposed to load and do things. You're going to be rolling dice.
I really
you're going
think
to
the rat bit through something.
What?
I really think the rat bit through something.
This is a laptop.
Yeah.
What did it bite through?
Internet cord?
That's not going on. Anyways, it's Wi-Fi. It's a laptop on Wi-Fi. Anyways, this is ThunderRoad. It's basically trying to win the race while being mindful of taking out other players, of setting your vehicle to different modes, of different speeds and whatnot. You have little helicopters. You have tiny little helicopters. You can call in helicopter strikes.
Did you back it?
I did not back it. I have too many of these games coming. I have 3 other games that fall into the genre of racing, shooting, blowing up games. It does look adorable. I was really tempted by this way. If I had to pick the game that I was most tempted by on this list that I had shelf control on, it was easily ThunderRoad Vendetta. Easily.
So cute.
You don't play these games. You're gonna play this game?
But the children will play with the cars.
Are you? Do you know how expensive this game is? I'm not getting this game for the children to play with the cars.
Fine.
If you play with me, I'll get it.
I cannot promise I'm going to play with you.
There we go. So I have 3 other games in this genre coming. This game looks fun. I'm very intrigued. It's one day.
So cute.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is ThunderRoad Vendetta. Shelf control.
You know how we can solve this?
It's time. Shelves are not the problem. Time is the problem. I need more time.
Invent a time turner.
Sure. Okay, we'll do that. When we get that, and then when we do, we'll come back to this moment and back it. Okay, how about that?
I like that plan.
So, anyways, moving on
we're
to
doing it.
Rome Total War. This is not supposed to be on the list. This is not supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Why
Did
is
you
Rome
miscount?
Total War on the list? I feel like I miscounted. Anyways.
Is it still open?
I don't know. I don't have to count it again. Either way, Rome Total War. Do you think I backed it?
I have I know. I honestly don't know because you're shocked there. Now I'm wondering.
I didn't back it.
Okay.
Rome Total War is not within the list. I initially popped this up because here's why.
That would be a really great ploy, though.
The goal of this list is to cover the games that I was planning on backing. Not planning on backing, that I was looking into for backing. And Rome Total War, I was debating. I was like, do I include it, do I not? Because I went from having no interest in Rome Total War to briefly having an interest for like a few days to going back to no interest.
So then you didn't back it.
Well, yes, but the question is not whether I backed it. The question is, did I have enough of an interest to even include it on this list?
Well, it's on the
And I was
computer.
like, well, yeah, because I initially put it on. I was like, I shouldn't include it. I shouldn't include it just because I had like a brief window. Basically, what happened is I went to PAX Unplugged. I saw it on the table at PAX Unplugged, and I was like, ooh, this looks fun. And then I came back home from PAX Unplugged, and I went back to the computer, and I was like, I'm not going to get it. It's not that I don't like the concept. It's that this something about the game didn't stand out as being different enough, or not different enough. That's not true. It is different enough. Something about the game did not compel me. It's an area control game. It's got these hidden dudes on a map as you build up these armies, and you have to like try to have a fog of war element of figuring out who's in the armies. You can send out scouts to figure them out. All the while you're conquering around the empire. There's enough overlap with a lot of games that I like that in theory I should be more interested, and yet I'm just not. I don't have any strong answers to why I'm not. It's a great company. They make a lot. They're the same company that makes Blitzkrieg. Like they make great games. They're great, whatever. Lots of good, fun things. Something about this game just does not pull me in. I just wasn't interested enough. Again, I had enough of a window that I opened it up briefly, but I'm not back into Rome Total War.
You have 5 left, and you still have 2 games that you.
That's correct.
Oh boy.
Trekking through history.
Yes.
Okay, great. I have 4 left and only 1 left.
Yes.
Tracking through History.
I love this game.
To be fair, I backed this one because you like this one. This is one that I enjoyed. I enjoyed Tracking Through History, but I didn't love Tracking Through History. And there's plenty of other games that are going to hit the table far before Tracking Through History. I enjoyed the play, but I'd even rather play Tracking the World. Their prior game, I prefer that one. And I need to play Museum with you because I think the Museum is Museum Pictura. I think it's
upstairs.
Tracking Through History on drugs. Okay, like on steroids. It's like powered up.
Okay.
But it's like set collection in different ways. But for me, Tracking Through History was a fun game, but not enough depth in the experience that there are other games I'd rather dive into. But I know you liked it, and I'm happy to play it, so I'll play it with you. That's basically what it comes down to. Tracking Through History. It's set collection as you jump through history and try to build up these sets. Be mindful of the dates in these cards as you build up these larger sets while gathering various tokens. If you read the backs of the cards, you can definitely learn things. I didn't read the backs of the cards, though, so I didn't really learn much. I learned that my wife likes this game. Yeah, and apparently the Wright brothers flew a plane in 1903. Is that the Wright brothers? That's the Wright brothers, right? Yeah, it says Wright brothers. Cool. The back of every card tells a story about history. Honestly, the back of the cards are great if you take the time to read them. They're very, very detailed. It's like not just like a line or two. It's very detailed. But yeah, back this one because I'll play it, assuming you want to play it. Mm-hmm. That's Tracking Through History. Next up, we have Urto by Catalion Games. Urto is a dungeon crawler that I don't know if their target audience is kids or not, but it certainly looked very family friendly. It certainly looked like a very accessible dungeon crawler experience with your heroes, with your caves, with your special abilities as you wander trying to find the actual board. You see the art over here, you see the characters, you have these little trees. Are you wandering?
You have to wander through the game?
What do you mean?
Search for things?
Yeah, like when you look, you can be wandering on these tiles and like flipping over, explore the caves, flip over the tiles, fight creatures.
You have like 15 of these already?
I do. And the kids love all of them.
Okay.
I didn't say I backed it, I'm just telling you the kids love all of those games. I have like 4 or 5 games that fall into the genre of kid-friendly dungeon crawlers that are accessible, and the kids love all of them.
I know.
Absolutely adore them.
I got that. I don't think you backed it.
Which is why I feel very bad that I didn't back this game.
Okay.
I didn't back the game. The kids do all of them. There's a bunch of them. There's Quest Kids. There's Caverns of Karak. There's obviously Cora Quest. A bunch of games in this genre that my kids are really enjoying, and I thought Urto would be another one. And then it wasn't like it was that expensive. I was like, I don't know if I can just throw money at every single dungeon crawler for kids. My kids will be fine. And there's another dungeon crawler for kids coming up.
Also, this wouldn't come in it for another year, and you don't know if they're still going to like dungeon crawlers in a year.
Well, that's just sad. Now you just made me sad. You're saying my quality time with my children playing games is potentially limited?
Yeah, they just might switch to one of the other hundreds of games that you have in this basement.
Now you make me sad. Well,
Why?
That's fine. Because I like playing games with my kids.
I didn't say they're going to stop playing games. I said that they might just get bored of dungeon crawling games.
Fine.
Maybe they want to play the mind with you all the time.
Ricky would. Anyways, moving on to White Hat. White Hat, a trick-taking game. What do you mean? These are top hats.
Oh, there you go.
White Hat is a trick-taking game from Dragon Dawn Productions. It's a trick-taking game as you wander along this board. It's got an element of a board on it where you're trying to find the actual board. If I can scroll down here. You have a board somewhere, maybe on the page. I'm just going to have to give up and just forget the board. I really have to give up and forget the board. There's a board.
I thought there was a board. There it is.
Yeah, it's on the initial pictures over here.
There it is.
You have a board that you're wandering through. It's trick-taking, but it has a degree of trick-taking where you don't necessarily always want to win the trick. So there is some nuance to the trick-taking. That's literally where my knowledge ends.
You didn't back it.
I didn't back it.
No.
I do want to get this game for the context. I've been diving into a whole bunch of trick-taking games and enjoying them. But the problem with this one is I just didn't want to pay the Kickstarter price for this one. I'll wait. Just because I'm getting that resurgence of trick-taking games doesn't mean I'm going to back every single one. I was interested. I looked into it, and I was like, I don't know if I care enough to spend the money on GameFound or whatever. I'll wait till retail, pick it up then, or secondhand market or whatever it is. Moving on to Wreckland Run.
You backed it.
Well, that was quick.
There's only one game left, and you had one game that you hadn't backed.
There's one more game after this, though.
Nope, that's the one that you moved to the end that I wanted to back.
That's true. That's a good point.
Ha.
Fine, Wreckland Run. Wreckland Run! Did you just didn't even bother thinking through it? You just like straight up Wreckland Run.
You only had one game left. I had one game that you hadn't backed yet.
This is the game I played when we went to Legoland. There was one game I brought with me when we went to Legoland. That's actually not true. There's like 4 or 5. But this is the one game I actually played when we went to Legoland.
The little square box?
Yes. Yeah, it's basically it's Wreckland Run. Wreckland Run is from Renegade Games, Scott Alms, the Solo Hero series. I actually just played Warp's Edge for the first time. Warp's Edge is a lot of fun, but Wreckland Run is from that same line. It's a solo game of trying to survive in a Mad Max style apocalypse, a post-apocalyptic landscape. You basically have your giant car that you're building, you're augmenting, you're trying to build it out so you can just take down the enemies, but the enemies are constantly doing damage to you and taking down the parts of your vehicle.
So it's like Galaxy Trucker.
In a weird way, it is a little Galaxy Trucker adjacent if Galaxy Trucker were a solo game.
Okay.
It has elements. I understand why you'd make that comparison.
It's a car. You just said it's a car that you're building out and getting attacked and trying to make sure it survives.
Yeah.
It sounds
I understand.
very similar.
I thought it was reasonable. But yeah, great art, great gameplay. I actually think I prefer Warp's Edge. When I covered Wreckland Run, I had not played Warp's Edge yet, but I just played Warp's Edge for the first time. Well, I've actually gotten a few plays in already, but I just dove into Warp's Edge, and I think I like Warp's Edge better. I like Wreckland Run, don't get me wrong. Wreckland Run is still solid, and I did back it, but Warp's Edge is even better, which means actually I need to go up to my pledge. Because they had actually expansions for Warp's Edge. So I need to go ahead and do that. That's another thing that we're going to have to deal. It's a good thing it's already at the end. And that is basically it, which brings us to that final part, which is if I can only back 3 of these, which one would I back?
Oh, okay. Marvel Zombies.
Okay, that's one. Dun 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 dun.
Are you just trying to do a Jeopardy theme song?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
Do you remember the ones I have were Marvel Zombies, Astro Knights, Wreckland Run. We had Rolling Heights. Rolling
Heights is number 2.
Rolling Heights is number 2. We have Mine MGMT.
And
we have. It's not Mine 3. It's not. Tracking Through History. And yeah, I think it's it.
Astro Knights?
Nope.
This one?
Wreckland Run. I remember I said, and I specifically made sure to give you the hints. I gave you the information.
That's very nice of you.
When I went through Mine MGMT, I specifically, knowing we'd come to the end and ask this question, I was like, I didn't have to get this. It was like 7 cards that I'll never use. I want those cards, but I'd rather have Wreckland Run over those 7 cards.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And Astro Knights is fun, but Wreckland Run is more fun solo, and I prefer Wreckland Run. But that is that. And if I can only back one of them, which one would be?
Zombies.
That's what I do with Marvel Zombies. That wasn't even hard.
Nope,
yeah,
that was it. Nope.
In any case, this is basically all the things I backed in February, or we backed, because I'll be going to go ahead and get the Tabletop FindIt book, and 2 of these were definitely for you. Rolling Heights and I mean, I like Rolling Heights too, but Rolling Heights and Tracking Through History were definitely for you as well, so there were things in here for you.
Nice.
But yeah, that's our February backing. 7 out of 21. 7 is a lot. Out of 21 is not that bad. I pat myself on the back for non-accomplishments. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I'm Rena.
And have a good one.
I was almost going to say barely an inconvenience at the end.
Barely an inconvenience!